Good afternoon, everybody. Hello, class of 2017. Yeah. It's got a nice ring. We've been preparing for a long time, so we're very, very excited to have you. I'd like to welcome families, students, sons, daughters, brothers, sisters, everyone that's here today to the Loyola community. My name is Jeff Norbert, and I'm the Director of Student Engagement. Let me begin by saying we are thrilled to have you all here. One of the best parts of our job each year is welcoming new families to our community. But we also recognize that this is an experience that comes with mixed emotion. We know there's some excitement in the room, but we also know there's some nerves. Students, you're getting ready to embark on a wonderful journey of self-discovery and learning. Over the next 2 days, our hope is that our orientation program will help ease those anxious feelings and help you find your passion here at Loyola. During orientation, you'll learn about the first-year transition, our expectations of Loyola students, and the resources available here at Loyola University, Maryland. Parents, as your student prepares for this journey, you will play a critical role. You will help ensure the road is safe before they leave home. You will help their students navigate if they lose their way or encounter bumps along the way. And you will always be there for them when they come home for a quick pit stop. However, they can't set off on their journey if they never get the opportunity to leave the garage. Parents, it's the time to start letting go. And I know this is hard. This is where we get some tears. I'm nervous about sending my first off to kindergarten in the fall, so I can only imagine the feelings that are in the room. But we will help your students. It's at this moment that you'll need to trust in yourself, your student, and the lesson and values that you've worked so hard to instill. And it never hurts to say a few prayers. Throughout orientation, you will hear from various administrators the ways in which we can partner with you to help your student learn, develop, and grow over the next 4 years. Students, as you prepare to hit the road, it's important to not forget your GPS. It's imperative that you spend some time reflecting on your values, who you are, and the person that you want to become. This will help you stay on course while you navigate the many aspects of college life here at Loyola. Over the next 2 days, you will be challenged to think about what you want from your Loyola experience and how you will engage in creating a journey of growth. Also, students, you will learn about the road signs that guide our community here at Loyola, our Jesuit values and ideals. This is what makes our community special. It sets us apart from other universities. It's our emphasis on connections, community, and core values. We will challenge you to make deep connections and develop meaningful relationships with faculty, administrators, and of course your fellow Greyhounds. As a Loyola community member, you are expected to be engaged and positively contribute to our community. Take advantage of the next 2 days and begin your journey of discovery, and please ask questions, and please begin to fall in love with our Loyola community. At this time, I would like to welcome Loyola's president, Father Brian Linane, to the stage.
This is a really exciting day for all of us. It's great to see our students, our new members of the class of 2017 arrive. It's just exciting, and I think you're in the wrong business if you don't get a little bit of a rush when you see the new students arrive. And of course, we're arriving a lot earlier than we did in my day. Just barely graduated from high school, and congratulations for your graduations. I know that many of you have heard me speak on multiple occasions in the course of your discernment of where you would spend the 4 years of your university life. And many of you came to the open houses, Live Loyola, and heard me when we were trying to get you to apply. And then many of you, after you were accepted, may have come to an admitted open house day for open house for admitted students, and then we were trying to get you to commit to seal the deal. And now we've done it. And so you've committed, you're here, you're ready to go, and so no more Mr. Nice Guy from Father Linane. The gloves are coming off. And because I speak to you this morning with wholehearted welcome and just great enthusiasm, But I also really want to give you a little sermon, if you will. I want to really encourage you to make the most of your Loyola education. You see, sometimes I feel like a businessman who has an excellent product for which he charges an enormous amount of money, which we do, I know. One of the parents once said to me, "I know you know, Father, but we have to pay it." So, but I feel like this businessman with the excellent product, very expensive, but that my customers are routinely satisfied to take less than their money's worth. It's almost unheard of any place else. You know, if you're in first class, you want that extra drink, right? If you're whatever, you're paying the big dollar, you want to get all your, but it doesn't necessarily work that way with universities. And sometimes I think that just that getting in and deciding where you're going to go to college is such a milestone that there's a temptation to coast, to sort of feel like, I've made it. I've reached the promised land. I can kick back and relax a little while. And that is really a mistake. That is a fundamental disconnect. And so I'm hoping that all of you will reflect very carefully on what seems to be counterintuitive. Sometimes you might be told, hang back a little bit, don't get too involved, find out what you can do, what school is like, and wait on activities, wait on getting engaged in various types of activities on campus. And that's a mistake, because if you don't start getting involved right off the bat, you're probably going to miss that train and not be as involved. And being involved is important for its own sake, yes, but that our research shows that, in the research at other universities, that being involved, reasonably involved, I'm not saying join every club there is, but find something to connect yourself, makes a difference in your academic progress. And there are a number of key things that are distinctive about Loyola that are there for you, that I encourage you to take advantage of. First of all, treat every class as something absolutely worthwhile, not something you do if you don't have something better to do, like hang out or go to the FAC. At some point, you will calculate, or someone will calculate, what you pay, what each class costs. And that's the least of it ultimately. Important things are taking place in every class. And parents, I encourage you to be partners with this. Do not take that it's okay to come home early for vacation because nothing is happening on the Friday before spring break. I always used to like to give tests on those days when I was teaching. Very popular. I want to encourage you to go to office hours. Each of your professors is required to have a certain number of hours where he or she is available to consult. When I taught, I used to make the students come just in the first couple of weeks just to meet me, to break the ice. Because it's really important that these people teach in a school like Loyola because they want to get to know you. They want to be there to help you. And keep in mind that problems never get smaller with time. They only get bigger. I like to tell of a student that I had at one time. You're all going to be thrilled that I don't teach when my horror stories here. But I had a young woman. She came to my office the day before the final exam, in tears. And she said, "Father Linnaeus, I've never understood a single thing in this class all semester." I had to count to 10. I was angry. And then I said, "Why are you coming to see me today? Why didn't you come at the beginning of the semester?" And I had this panic thing of okay, I have to give her the answers to the exam. The poor thing, she didn't understand me. And then I thought, that's not fair to the kids who were brave enough to say, "Father, your lecture is as clear as mud. Can you put it in other terms for me?" And so, I talked to her, and I talked to her about, okay, let's think of the themes of the course. Let's think about what we did, how we went. But in the end, I said, you have to step up and take that maturity. And I always say it's much more fun talking with the student about what's going on in class than sitting there waiting for someone to come. It's kind of lonely when no one comes. So take advantage of office hours. Go to them and get to know your professors. If there's a problem, ask them. Seek the guidance that you need. It may be tutoring or what have you. It's all here. It's all here. You just have to take that step to ask. Again, I want to talk about wellness behaviors a little bit. That we find that our students who participate in wellness activities, and I'm going to do better in terms of their overall academic program. And again, I want you to think about this, as you go forward. We do a lot of studying of our students and to make sure that we're accomplishing what we achieve. In fact, one of my some of the evergreens will recall that in this talk in the past, I used to give the men a particularly hard time because the research shows that they tend to coast more than women. And I'm not going to do that anymore because we had a survey of our students that found out that men feel slightly less welcome on campus than our female students. And I said, well, if the president is making fun of them on the first day they arrive, that probably contributes to it. So, but it kills me because it had some really good lines that I can't use anymore. And some of you who are repeating parents will, remember the marriage comment. Can't do it anymore. But I just want to read this. This is another study that we did, which is on health and wellness of our students. These are studies that are available on our website if you'd like to read them. And this was done in 2007, so it's a little dated, but not too much. And this is a paragraph that's on the relationship between academic achievement and student wellness behavior. Self-reported grade point average is correlated with a number of important behaviors. Higher GPA is related to greater involvement with Loyola late-night activities, increased likelihood of contacting professors outside of class, more hours attending to spirituality, more hours studying, right? We would hope that more hours of studying would be reflected in a higher GPA. More hours in community service, and less hours watching television and playing video games. Higher GPA also is related to drinking on fewer nights of the week, having fewer drinks overall, and being less likely to believe that it is acceptable to become intoxicated. Those attitudes and behaviors have a positive effect on your GPA, or conversely negative. If you believe that it's okay to get drunk on the weekend, that's going to have an impact. Even if you don't necessarily do it, just believing it is going to have a diminishment of effect. Let me talk about these things. When I talk about Loyola late night events, those are all capitalized because on Fridays and Saturday nights, the university does a number of programs that are meant to be alternatives to the party scene. And that these are activities, whether it's a film, a coffee house, that all culminate with a free breakfast at midnight. Bacon, eggs, the whole bit. That's a little bit queasy making for me at that hour of the night, but the kids love it. And the kids who are involved with it do better. We know that. Again, I've talked about seeing your professors outside of class. Again, it demonstrates to your faculty member that you are somebody who's in this to do well, that you are putting the effort in, and that's always a good thing, I think. More hours attending to spirituality. And I think, again, this is a great opportunity that Loyola affords you to come to some sense about what you believe about your spirituality, what you believe about your religious connection, your faith. We have wonderful programs in campus ministry. We have a fantastic retreat house in the hills of Maryland. Great programs on offer. We don't touch as many students as I would like. And I think it's just a great opportunity. It's also that you're going to meet really great kids who are involved with campus ministry. Kids who have a lot of fun, who take their studies seriously, who are serious about addressing fundamental questions in their lives and living their lives in light of those the answers they come up with. I think that they're, again, just really great kids. As I mentioned, more hours studying, that's obvious. More hours in community service. Again, you're putting your education to work immediately. And particularly with regard to your core courses, which will ask you to address some fundamental questions about our purpose in life, the role of justice, this will get you out there thinking very critically about what difference that you will make in the world as a person who's achieved a Jesuit education. And again, you will be with some of the best kids on campus. Not nerds, regular kids who have fun, who do well, who make a difference. Watching less television and video games, you've heard that your whole life, that's not news. But then the drinking bit, and I want to address that. This culture, the way in which college students sometimes approach, and not all, approach this party culture, this drinking, which is a national issue for all of us, I like to remind us and name it right at the beginning as that this is an activity that is immoral. And I know that probably some of the students are thinking they're middle-aged priest trying to ruin our fun, taking away the good stuff. That's not what I mean by immoral. We determine that things are moral or immoral based on our human experience. If human experience tells us that engaging in a certain type of behavior or having a certain attitude leads to the flourishing of individuals and of communities, we label that behavior or attitude a moral one, and we encourage it. If a behavior leads to the degradation of individuals or communities, then we label that behavior immoral. And that means nothing justifies it. What's so bad about this drinking culture? I started college in 1973, almost 30 years ago, and I've been continuously involved with universities in one way or the other since that time. And every bad thing that happens, from death and injury to assault and sexual assault, virtually every one of those events is tied to alcohol and partying. People die. And sometimes the scars of sexual abuse are not evident. But when you rob someone of their serenity, of their feeling of being safe in the world, that is extremely difficult, if not impossible, to fully restore. So you may not do those things. Most of you won't. Most of you will pass through unscathed into your 20s, and thank God. But you are participating in and encouraging a culture that kills. Therefore, you should know that your activity is immoral. So I hope that you will think about these issues very, very carefully as you embark on your education at Loyola. I hope that you will do all that you can. You know, again, just an example, we were talking about this. We have a great program in Beijing. I wanted to mention this to the first. We have a great program. Loyola started, it's housed, the 28 Jesuit colleges sponsor it. It is an incredible, it's in the University of International Business and Economics, and you do a semester or a year of Chinese. We have just hired our second full-time Chinese professor here, so that if you do 2 years of Chinese here at Loyola, start a new language for some of you, do 2 years, and then go to the Beijing Center, which is undersubscribed, it's a great facility. If you go to the Beijing Center for the year, at the end of the year, you'll be fluent in Mandarin. Fluent in Mandarin. Do you know how valuable that is in today's world? Whatever else you do, to be able to be fluent in Mandarin. Just one example of the unique things that are offered to you. So take these days to commit yourself to the full Loyola experience going forward. Take these days to being that person, that upright person who will make a difference in this community and so will be poised to make a difference in our world. That you will be the sort of leader that our world so desperately needs at this time and bring us forward to a place where the ideals of Jesuit education, where the sharing of faith and of justice will be recognized in this country and beyond. I am delighted that you have joined us. This is a terrific class, just very well prepared, and I look forward to the next 4 years with you, to seeing how you run with this education and how you evolve into young women and men that we can all be proud of. Thank you very much, and God bless you.
Thank you, Father Lenane. At this time, it gives me great pleasure to introduce our student staff, the Evergreens. These fabulous, gifted, passionate, and extremely energetic students up here in the green shirts have been working very hard to prepare for both parents and our first years to arrive on campus. They're giving up vacations, time at home, summer jobs, because they believe as Loyola students, it's their obligation to help other Loyola students ease their way into our community. So at this time, I would like to introduce Alexandra Salem to come up to the stage and say a few words. Alexandra?
All right, I'm a little shorter, so everyone can hear me? Perfect, thanks guys. Welcome class of 2017 to Loyola University, Maryland. Today is the first day of your college career. This is a monumental undertaking. It's intimidating and exciting at the same time, but most of all, it's wonderful. I say this because there's still so much ahead of you. There will be endless opportunities, which is why receiving a college education is truly an extraordinary blessing. Because there will be so much ahead of you, there's endless opportunities. While here at Loyola, I urge you to seek out many opportunities and challenge yourself to set goals and to succeed. 2 years ago, I sat exactly where you sit today, trying my best to focus and take everything in. I wanted to make sure I smiled at my classmates. I wanted to make sure I listened to everyone speaking to me during orientation sessions. And I wanted to make sure I remembered what it was like to have my family with me, because I knew that when late August came, they wouldn't be. Suffice it to say, I had numerous feelings and expectations centered on college. Though I was overwhelmed, I couldn't wait to meet new people, pursue new interests, and start new classes. I knew that there would be clubs, organizations, and individuals that would play critical parts in my time here at Loyola. I was right. This year, the orientation staff, in accordance with the university and its mission, has chosen an orientation theme of Be More. What does this mean? For one, it's an excellent name for the diverse city of Baltimore, which our school is located in. Moreover, for me, it means trying my best to be present in all that I do, from the first day of my summer orientation 2 years ago. Once I became more conscious, I was able to reap the benefits of college. This past school year, I became very involved in service at a pediatric hospital in Baltimore City. Initially, my purpose in volunteering at the hospital was to fulfill prerequisites for medical school. However, the more time I spent there, the more invested I became. My weekly visits weren't about me. They weren't a means to an end. They were both a time of leisure and education. While at the hospital, I found the most reward in the undocumented moments. When a child I had been seeing for weeks would finally light up with recognition of my face, or when that same child would return home leaving behind a handmade card. It was in these instances that I realized that how I was choosing to utilize my time at Loyola far exceeded anything I could have imagined. It was much bigger than my being. My time here at Loyola was helping me become the person I wanted to be in the world one day, someone who was conscientious, enthusiastic, and dedicated. At Loyola, I have learned the true value of the Jesuit magis, meaning the more. In life, I must do more, achieve more, and be more. From service, I have gained a better understanding of what it means to care and aspire for more than myself. By spending my time at the hospital, I saw how I could leave my mark. I now understand how my decisions of pursuing a career relate to serving others and helping them meet their own individual goals. In this way, I have discovered the value of being a woman for others, and how this type of fulfillment aids me in greater accomplishments that have far-reaching effects. My influence helps present more opportunities to more people in a progressing community. Thus, my college achievements have become about my ability to learn and grow alongside others. I have been a successful student and person extending the borders of the Evergreen campus by implementing innovation and compassion in the world. While at Loyola, I hope that each of you will put your own ambitions into action and strive for more. Learn what living a full college life means to you. Here you will find curricula that spark your interests, organizations that represent your values, clubs that suit your hobbies, and people that build your confidence. So, pursue each of these, for you have great potential to meet. Your college experience is what you make of it. That being said, it's all right to not have all the answers. The important thing is how you discover them. Loyola provides you with the resources to seek knowledge in and out of the classroom. There are many faculty and administrators here, as well as greater community connections to support you. Though there may be times when you feel as though you'll never have any answers, as innovative Loyola students, you will find inspiration. Each of you will bring unique knowledge to campus and experience brilliancies, sometimes in ways that you least expect. At Loyola, the diverse student body and dedication to progress will enlighten you. So stay hopeful and receptive to both the enjoyments and challenges of college. Starting today, you are more than just a student. You are a Loyola Greyhound, an individual who can have a great impact on others. Your pursuits will construct your path and far exceed the university. Whether you participate in service, academics, athletics, worship, or one of the many other havens at Loyola, remember that you will become invested. As a fellow Greyhound and on behalf of the rest of the student body, I am sincere in saying that we are excited for you. We are confident that you will grow at Loyola and have a successful future. As you join campus today, you are supported, so remember to work for what you want and you will attain prosperity. Investigate your curiosities and search for knowledge that will better your community. It is wonderful to be presented with many opportunities, so please continue to flourish as you have. Most importantly, as you start your career and begin to make many decisions, remember to find pleasure in your time. With that, I'd like to welcome you Greyhounds. So now I have the pleasure of introducing our Summer Orientation Evergreen staff. First, though, I would like all the students to look at the top of their folder. There is a written number, which will be your orientation group for this session. So we will begin. I am Alexandra Salem, once again, and I am a junior. I am a psychology major, and I am group 13. So, hi, everyone.
Hi, Group 8. I'm Angie. I'm a senior, a biology major, and I'm from Hershey, Pennsylvania.
Hi, Group 9. I'm Jeff Gilchrist. I am a sophomore from Tolland, Connecticut, and I am a communications major.
Hi, Group 4. I'm Kayla. I am a junior. I'm a communications major from Long Beach Island, New Jersey.
Hey, Group 8. I'm Wes Peters. I am an English major from Mendham, New Jersey.
Hi, Group 11. I'm Emily. I'm a senior from Trenton, New Jersey, and I'm a psychology major, gender studies minor.
Hi, Group 5. I'm Nikki. I'm from a small town in southern Maryland, and I'm an advertising PR major.
What's up, Group 12? I'm Rachel. I am from Bucks County, Pennsylvania, and I'm a marketing major, and I'm a rising sophomore.
Hey, Group 5. I'm Mike. I'm a sophomore from Westchester County, New York, and I'm a psychology major.
Hi, Group 4. I'm Teresa. I'm from Scotch Plains, New Jersey. I'm a junior and a speech pathology major.
Hey, Group 6. My name is Shannon. I'm a junior from, I know it's weird, Queens, New York, and I'm a global studies major.
Hi, Group 12. My name is Kate. I'm a junior from Merrick, New York, and I'm majoring in speech pathology.
Hey, Group 12. I'm Connor, and I'm majoring in psychology, and I'm from Morristown, New Jersey.
Hey, Group 2. I'm Dave. I am a senior, and I'm a Spanish major, and I am from Hicksville, New York.
Hey, Group 10. I'm Brittany. I'm a senior from Interlake in New Jersey, studying psychology and political science.
Hi, Group 7. I'm Taylor. I'm a junior from Pepperell, Massachusetts, and I'm a communications major.
Hi, Group 11. I'm Abigail. I'm a sophomore. I'm from Basking Ridge, New Jersey, and I'm an education major.
Hey, Group 6, I'm Caitlin. I'm a sophomore from Sewell, New Jersey, and I'm a PR major.
Hi, Group 16. I'm Kate. I'm from Tiverton, Rhode Island. I'm a sophomore, and I'm a PR and advertising major.
Hi, Group 11. I'm Denise from Long Beach Island, New Jersey, and I am a psych major, business minor.
Hey, Group 10. I'm Mike. I'm from Reading, Pennsylvania. I'm a sophomore, and I'm a poli-sci French major.
Hi, Group 15. I'm Morgan. I'm a sophomore from Chester, New Jersey, and I'm a marketing major.
Hi, Group 13. I'm Emily. I'm from Montclair, New Jersey, and I'm a sophomore studying marketing.
Hi, Group 16. I'm Will. I'm a junior, and I'm from Alexandria, Virginia, and I'm a communications major.
Hello, Group 13. I am Mike. I am from Morris Plains, New Jersey. I'm a junior, and I'm a psychology major.
Hi, Group 14. I'm Vicky. I'm a senior from Long Island, New York, and I am an English major, art history, medieval studies, double minor.
Hey, Group 9. I'm Kate. I'm from Long Island, New York. I'm a senior studying photography and digital media.
What's up, Group 15? I'm Evan. I'm from East Brunswick, New Jersey. I'm a marketing major and advertising minor.
Hey guys, I'm Kate. Hi, Group 3. I'm from Wilton, Connecticut, and I'm a communications major.
Hi, Group 3. I'm Juliana. I'm a junior from Monroe, New York, and I'm a psychology writing double major.
Hi, Group 16. I'm Sarah. I'm from Medford, New Jersey, and I'm a biopsych major.
Hi, Group 1. I'm Caroline. I'm a sophomore. I'm from Beverly, Massachusetts, and I'm a global studies major, poli-sci minor.
Hey, Group 1. I'm Bridget Bunton. I'm from Scranton, Pennsylvania. I'm a junior, and I'm a journalism major and English minor.
Hey, Group 14. I'm Paul. I'm a junior accounting major, and I'm from Verona, New Jersey.
Hey, Group 7. I'm Anthony. I'm a biochemistry major from Boston.
Hi, Group 15. I'm Corinne. I'm a sophomore from Florham Park, New Jersey, and I'm an accounting major.
Hi, Group 14. I'm Katie Nolan. I'm a sophomore from Edison, New Jersey, and a journalism PR major.
Hey, Group 2. I'm Connor. I'm a sophomore. I'm a biopsych major, and I'm from Westfield, Massachusetts.
Great. Thank you, Evergreens. Again, as our Evergreens kind of head out, first years in the room, these are the students that have all the answers to all the questions that you have because they've been in your shoes. And moms, dads, grandparents, these are the students that you want your sons and daughters spending time with. So get to know them as well. Ask them questions. They are here to be resources and help your journey through orientation and again through the first year. So the Evergreens are an important part of the process, but they're only one part of the process. The student engagement staff also works tirelessly to make this orientation really to be a well-oiled machine. They're the ones tuning up the machine, and they're also the ones that are building the machine behind the scenes. Many of you have spoken to them on the phone, you've had questions about reservations, you've had questions about housing, and these are the folks that work really hard to make this process easy for everyone in the room. So I'd like to introduce my staff. First is Sarah Scalzo, our Associate Director. Chris Nicholas, our Assistant Director. Hope Supernald, our newest member of our team. Santina Craze, our Program Coordinator. And then we're blessed with two talented grad assistants, Victoria Necroto and Matthew Shannon. Thank you. Throughout orientation, you'll see them floating about. Please ask them questions. Our staff is here to help you in the next couple days get everything you need out of this experience. So at this time, we're going to transition to our next session. I would like to introduce Dr. Alona McGinnis, our Dean of First Year Students, and Father James Maracki, Dean of Loyola College, to talk to you a little bit about our Jesuit education here at Loyola.
I need my clicker. Class of 2017, and parents, welcome to Loyola. I'm Jim Maracki, a Jesuit and the Dean of the College of Arts and Sciences, and I've been asked for the next 15 minutes or so to give you a brief introduction into the Jesuit tradition and how it fits into a liberal arts institution. And since we're in school, I thought we'd begin with a quiz. What do these people have in common? Now, you may not all be able to see this, so I'll go through the list. We have Denzel Washington. We have the dude with the long hair, the famous philosopher René Descartes. We have former President Bill Clinton. We have military thriller writer Tom Clancy, Amy Poehler of Saturday Night Live and Parks and Recreation, and Colonel T.J. Creamer, who is a NASA astronaut and has been up to the space station a few times. We also have Janet Napolitano, who is the current head of Homeland Security, Pope John Paul I, Irish writer James Joyce, Bradley Cooper of Hangover, Mia Hamm, the Olympic soccer star, and Chris Matthews of Hardball. Does anyone know what all these people have in common? They all went to a Jesuit college or university. I am here to congratulate the members of the class of 2017 for joining their company. I want to congratulate you on your abilities in a very competitive market to be accepted to Loyola. And I want to congratulate you on your eminent wisdom in choosing to enter our class. I want to talk a little bit about Jesuit education now, which this year is 465 years old. Jesuit education was not the first mission that St. Ignatius Loyola, the founder of the Jesuits, intended his men to get into, but very shortly in the history of the Society of Jesus, Jesuits were asked to form schools. And in those days, there was a tension or a debate that rages today, and that is, what is the purpose of a higher education? In those days, there were universities that were completely secular. They were very much about intellectual problem solving and preparation for what we would call careers. Careers in medicine, in the law, in theology, and other fields. St. Ignatius felt that this was not an adequate preparation for the world or an adequate preparation for good leaders. And so early in his time, he decided to form what he called colleges. And the first one was founded in 1548 in a town of Italy called Messina. And now you know where we got our first-year program name. And these schools were meant to be schools that, in addition to providing an intellectual education, were schools of formation. St. Ignatius's idea was to influence those who are going to be influential. At that time, he was teaching the sons of nobles and dukes and others, merchants, rich merchants, and he felt that if he could get to them, they were going out into the world, they could influence the world in a very positive way. And so he decided to create these schools, these colleges, which were really both kind of our high school years and our undergraduate years together. And the idea was really to promote personal formation, intellectual, yes, but much more. And he used as a model the training that he gave Jesuit seminarians. And this was a form of education that we call cura personalis. This is sometimes translated as care of the whole person, others translate it as personal care, but it's the kind of education that's meant to cover the entirety of one's experience. It starts, of course, with the intellectual. In those days, St. Ignatius followed the model of educating the Renaissance man or the Renaissance person. And this was someone who was going to be exposed to a variety of disciplines, literature, the arts, the sciences, in order to develop virtuous life, the art of persuasion in argumentation, ethical ideas, being called to be good citizens, and more. And so 465 years later, we do a very similar thing. Jesuit education is noted for its academic rigor and excellence, and I promise you, you will encounter that here. However, we're also here about the spiritual. Here at a Jesuit institution, we explore questions of faith, questions that you might not even encounter at a secular university. We provide training and opportunities for reflection and discernment. We have a wonderful campus ministry staff. We have opportunities for prayer and retreats and liturgies. We recognize that nurturing the spirit is essential to a good education. And then there is the moral. Father Lenane just gave you a whole disquisition on what moral and immoral behavior is. I'm not going to go down that road, but you will encounter, not only in your classes, but in your life here, all kinds of situations in which you will have to make moral choices. And we are here to educate you on what the good life is about and what ethical behavior should be. The emotional or the psychological. Most of you will be living here on campus. You will be part of a new social community. That will involve all kinds of relationships, challenges, emotional experiences, and we are here to help you grow in those ways through our student development programs, through our counseling services, through many ways in which you can grow in your ability to live a healthy human life. Of course, there's the physical. Back in St. Ignatius's day, they had games, they had sports. We're very concerned not only about exercise, but health, and you'll have many opportunities to develop your growth in those areas. And finally, the experiential. Back in St. Ignatius's day, he would send his seminarians out into the world to teach catechism to children, to visit hospitals. They ran a house for recovering prostitutes. They got out into the nitty-gritty reality of the world, and so too will you, through service learning, through internships, and other opportunities. So 465 years after this system of education was begun, why do we still do it? What does it consist of, and does it really work? Well, let me tell you, I'm here to say we have designs on you. Whatever it is that brought you here, our academic reputation, our beautiful campus, a friend or a sibling who went here, or a parent, a sport, an activity, we're here, you're here through your door, we're gonna send you out of here in 4 years through our door. And by doing that, we hope to make you better persons and better leaders. And we think the core of that is a liberal arts education. As Dean of the College of the Arts and Sciences, I am constantly called upon to defend this kind of education. We know how expensive it is. We know that people are concerned about getting jobs. And people ask us, why would you study all these other things when you should just focus on a particular area to get a particular skill and a job? I heard this quote just last week. Hyper-specialization is the enemy of the 21st century student. One of the things that a liberal arts education does is allow people the flexibility to move among different kinds of jobs and work. It's said that your generation will probably have anywhere from 5 to 7 different kinds of jobs, different turns in your career. And we believe that a liberal arts education will help you to do that well. Now, what does a liberal arts education really mean? Well, by liberal, it doesn't mean a political position. It means training a free person to be open to new ideas and to become a good citizen, to learn how to be virtuous, knowledgeable, and articulate. And we believe that a liberal arts education has many purposes and values. I tend to boil it down to 3. One is that a liberal arts education, the gathering of knowledge across disciplines, is an end in itself. St. Ignatius Loyola was known for the motto of finding God in all things. And we Jesuits believe that any discipline of study can be a potential place of encounter with the divine. So we believe that all of these subjects should be taught, and all of our students should be exposed to a range of them so they can come to appreciate God's creation and the wonders of our world. Secondly, a liberal arts education, as I said earlier, is all about formation, development of the whole person so that that person can go out and lead in the world, to use one's talents and knowledge and abilities to give back. And finally, and the thing you may be most worried about, a liberal arts education is eminently practical because it allows you to become flexible. It allows you to have the skills you will need to succeed in whatever job and lifestyle and path you choose. As a way of backing that up, I want to refer to a study that just came out about a month ago. It was a study sponsored by the American Association of Colleges and Universities, and it was a national survey of business and nonprofit leaders. And I just want to go over, you can't read this, but I want to go over some of the main points. The study was called, "It Takes More Than a Major: Employer Priorities for College Learning and Student Success." And among other things, these employers surveyed said this: 93% of them said, "A demonstrated capacity to think critically, communicate clearly, and solve complex problems is more important than a candidate's undergraduate major." 95% of them say they prioritize hiring college graduates with skills that will help them contribute to innovation in the workplace. About 95% say it is important that those they hire demonstrate ethical judgment and integrity, intercultural skills, and the capacity for continued new learning. Over 75% say they want more emphasis on 5 key areas, including critical thinking, complex problem solving, written and oral communication, and applied knowledge in real-world settings. And 80% of them agree that regardless of their major, every college student should acquire broad knowledge in the liberal arts and sciences. These are the people that are likely to hire you, and this is what they're looking for when you emerge from college education. I can tell you anecdotally, I speak to a lot of Loyola alumni and a lot of employers, and they tell me they love to hire Loyola grads because they know they bring something extra, a value add, because of the skills that they learn, and I would say a lot of those skills come through our core curriculum. I'm not going to go through the list. You probably have seen it already. But these are the courses, most of which you will take in your first and second years, that are the basis of our general education. And we think they are vital to your future success. So I plead with you, members of the class of 2017, although we require you to take these courses, please do not consider them simply a checklist or hoops to get through. These are the courses that are going to teach you those skills I just said employers want to see. These are the skills of critical reading and writing, thinking and speaking, rhetoric, being able to put together a good argument, reflective qualities, imagination, innovation. These are the things that are going to be developed in these core courses. And I can tell you, while you're going through them, you may not appreciate what you receive in them. But I have some wonderful stories from Loyola alums whom I asked, which course or which aspect of your education do you remember most? I had a cardiothoracic surgeon tell me, I probably couldn't tell you much about my Intro to Bio course, but I can tell you about my ethics course, because I'm the chair of the ethics board at my hospital, and I use principles I learned in that class 30 years ago every day in my job. Or the lawyer who said, it wasn't a political science course that was most important for me, but a seminar on Shakespeare. Because reading Shakespeare's plays, discussing them in a seminar, and arguing in a paper allowed me the kind of language skills and also modes of thinking that helped me in the courtroom. I could tell you more and more stories like this. So trust me, take it on faith as you're taking these courses, they will be good for you. I've also just put up here, and you probably can't read them, we have, of course, a wide variety of majors in Loyola College, in the humanities, in the social sciences, in the sciences. Whatever major you choose, that's going to build on your general education, on your core, and prepare you in some way, even if it doesn't seem directly so, for a career, for a life, and more importantly, for developing as a full human being and being a contributor to your community. We also have majors in the Salinger School of Business and the elementary education major in the School of Education. In addition to this, another way in which in the liberal arts education we help develop in you all kinds of critical skills, especially in this day and age, are through our cross-departmental majors and minors, one of which, the fastest growing of which is global studies. These are programs that actually get you thinking across 2 or more departments and get you thinking in innovative ways, in the ways that I just suggested employers love to see. In a global society, we have to think more and more about how we bridge cultures and ways of thinking, and these kinds of programs can help you with that. I want to end with an exhortation. My first and most important piece of advice to you is to find your passion and go with it. And I've quoted a few experts on the subject. First is that famous punk philosopher Billy Joe Armstrong of Green Day, who says our passion is our strength. Then there's E.M. Forster, the British novelist. One person with passion is better than 40 people merely interested. And finally, a motivational speaker, Dennis Waitley, says, chase your passion, not your pension. Many of you have an idea of what you're going to major in. Some of you have absolutely decided. Many of you are undeclared, and you may feel uncomfortable or guilty about that. I would say we love your coming in with an open mind. We love the fact that you're going to have 4 years to explore all kinds of disciplines. You're going to have a chance to pick a major, maybe 2, pick a minor. Take your time. The purpose of a Jesuit education is to expose you to a number of different things. Things you may think you want to focus on, you may change your mind. Things you've never been exposed to, you may fall in love with. And I guarantee you, in our faculty, you're going to encounter a group of people who are incredibly passionate about what they teach and what they research. And some of that passion, I think, is going to rub off on you. So I encourage you, open yourself to our core curriculum, take courses in fields you never thought you would, and choose your major wisely. But know that whatever your choice is, if you apply yourself here, you're going to be successful. We're very thrilled that you're here. We know you're going to have a great 4 years, and I wish you well in your time at Loyola. Thank you. I forgot the introduction. You're about to meet one of the most important people in the university, Dean Ilona McGinnis, who is the Dean of First-Year Students and Academic Advising. And I have to say to you, as Dean of the College of Arts and Sciences, I am not the first one to contact if you have an academic issue, you get in a little academic trouble, you have special academic needs. Dean McGinnis is the source of all knowledge and wisdom. So I recommend parents, students, contact Dean McGinnis if you have any questions about our academic programs or any needs, because I'm just going to refer you to her if you contact me. I mostly deal with the faculty, and that's a handful in itself. Dean McGinnis.
Thanks, Father Marecki. I wish I did have all that knowledge, but one thing I do know is where to find answers to questions. So if you bring your questions to me, I'm more than happy to help you get to the source of the information that you need. I'd like to follow up on what Father Marecki said about liberal arts and the Jesuit tradition. I want to talk a little bit about how it works in your education and out in the world by touching on some of the themes that Father talked on, but also by tying it to the core values that Loyola has adopted for the institution, which come from the Jesuit tradition, and values by which we all teach and administer and live and study. I'm really excited to see the class of 2017. That number scares me a bit. But what makes it exciting is that at the end of these 2 days, I'm going to know what the feel, what the personality of next year's first-year class is. And I always make a bet with myself, am I right or am I wrong? And then I poll my colleagues, and generally we're right. It's amazing the enthusiasm that you bring and how your own talents and your own selves shine from you in these few days. So I hope that you have a good and informational time. As Father said, employers come to Loyola because Loyola graduates make a difference in their work and in their community. Because good citizens give back to the community from which they take their sustenance. You don't just go move into a town, take your paycheck, and just act as a little isolated island. You go in and you help build the community for yourself, for your children, and for the people that you live around. So recruiters come to Loyola because, as Father said, they can think, they are creative, they can communicate, they know their history and their culture, they know how they fit into the world, and therefore they can understand others in the community and how that community works. I want to give an example of a favorite student of mine who got her bachelor's degree here in biology and writing and history. Kind of an odd combination, but it served her well in the long run. She is now an environmental landscape architect, and when she went to the best environmental school in the country after grad school, she felt really small. Everybody in her group was from the Ivies, everybody. She said she knows that that was probably just an accident, but she came from little old Loyola in Baltimore. And about midterm, one of her colleagues, one of her group members came to her and said, "Jen, I don't get it. Every time we have to start a new project or a new problem, you can bring in things from psychology and from art and from history." And he said, "Those are just a few examples. You seem to know so much. How come?" And she was a little taken aback, and she said, "Well, I don't know. It just comes up as we talk and think." And then she said, "Well, maybe I get it from my liberal arts education. We had a pretty heavy core at Loyola." And the young man said, "What's a core?" And she explained to him, and he looked at her, and he said, "I'm from Brown. We don't have a core. I wish we did." And she said to me, "I never felt bad saying I was from little old Loyola again." And she ended up being the top graduate of her master's class. So if you learn your core well, you can do amazing things. I also had a student, who went into marketing. She markets books in New York for HarperCollins. And before she was given a Southwest United States territory, her boss said, "You got to go learn Spanish." And she said, "Well, I did Italian as a core. How am I going to learn Spanish?" He said, "You want the promotion?" And she went to NYU and learned Spanish. And I've got more examples of students who actively are asked to demonstrate things they learned in the core in the workplace than you can shake a fist at. So it's wonderful to see what they become, but it's also very interesting to hear them say, "Well, from my Shakespeare course, I learned how to use language to develop a marketing plan." And I said to this one girl who told me this at a university reunion, I said, "But you were my advisee and you yelled and screamed because Shakespeare was the only thing that was open and you didn't want to take it." And she said, "Live and learn." So what all of these students have in common is that they learned the value of the core after they left Loyola, which I think is pretty sad, because imagine what more they could have done if they had taken it seriously and been courageous enough to embrace it while they were here. Now, I think you were all invited to purchase T-shirts with core values on them. At least they're available in the bookstore. And I'd like to tie the core to those values. Academic excellence and diversity for me go together, because excellence, doing well, is possible only if students have a deep and a round education. Deep may be your primary field of study, but deep is made possible only by the round, only by all these other courses that Father and I have mentioned. You can't read the novel Triangulation unless you know math. And actually, if you know math, your common text experience, which we're going to talk about in a minute, will mean a whole lot more to you. You can't develop marketing plans unless you know the culture you're targeting, or unless you know a bit about the economic realities of the culture that you're trying to serve, whether that is within your own country or whether it's out in the global marketplace. You can't complain about the problems that pollution in the stream that cuts through your yard causes for you, or the erosion that it causes, unless you can go to city council or the neighborhood council and talk a little bit about the biology and the ecological effects that it has, the causes and the effects. Then you'll be effective. And you can't understand those that are different from yourself unless you've learned about the different kinds of cultures, the different ways in which we're all different from each other, whether that's through gender, through race, through faith, through economic class, through country of origin. So I guess what I'm saying is that you cannot know how to behave unless you are familiar with all of these things. In terms of diversity, at Loyola, we help you learn about that in various areas of the curriculum by designating and designing certain courses as diversity. One area of your core is you must have a course in global diversity, in national diversity, or in economic diversity, I believe it is. So, because you cannot practice anything in a professional sense unless you're aware of all the ways in which people are different, and more than likely different in many different ways. It's complex, this issue of diversity. But you can't practice good values either unless you have ethics. And this brings me to two other core values of honor and integrity. At Loyola, we hold academic integrity in the highest esteem. In order to be successful, you have got to do your own thinking. And you have to be comfortable in your own thinking. You shouldn't be taking refuge in the ideas of others. You shouldn't look to others for what they believe and what they think. You shouldn't be willing to take shortcuts. Honest businessmen and teachers and scientists and professionals of all kind really are essential if our world is going to move forward. You might remember that earlier this summer in Europe, there were a number of officials in Germany, including the Chancellor of Education, who lost their PhDs because it was determined that they had cheated in their dissertations. They had taken ideas that weren't theirs. They hadn't attributed them. So Doris Kearns Goodwin in our own country, she's a wonderful sports writer, but for a while she lost her reputation because she borrowed heavily from another source and didn't acknowledge it. And everybody who loved reading her was very disappointed. Her career was almost ruined by it. And you might have read last week, there's an author in St. Louis, the same thing happened. Y'all remember Bernie Madoff, especially parents. You know, where did he get off thinking he could do this to people? He obviously didn't have ethics, or if he did, he totally ignored it. So, and then you go and look at what's in the news about government and Medicare and emergency rooms this last week, about how they're all padding their Medicare billing and assuring that the doctors prescribe a certain number of tests. And people get hurt that way. The economy gets hurt that way. Our country gets hurt that way. We need to create our world to be one where people don't do those kinds of things, and a world in which they don't steal ideas and don't steal goods, whether they are in school or out of school. Both are wrong. There are ethical behaviors that have nothing to do with tangibles. And you will be introduced to all of this in the Loyola curriculum, and you will be introduced to it by your evergreens today as they begin talking to you about the honor code that we take very, very seriously and that we take as an attitude of pride here at Loyola. And before you actually start classes in the fall, you will sign an honor pledge that goes into your permanent file so that if you should slip up, we're going to pull this out and say, what does your signature mean? Okay? What does it mean that you put your name to this and then disregarded it? All to help you become who you need to be. Our values are also in action-oriented and in action-oriented services. We have, to help you do that, lots of extracurricular activities. In campus ministry, we have it in the Center for Learning and for Service and Justice, and we have courses in which you can actually do what you learn in the interest of the community beyond Loyola. If you take an accounting course, you might develop an accounting system for a nonprofit that doesn't have money to hire an accountant. If you take computer science, you might develop a program for, again, a service of some kind, a group, whether it's a group for young people or a group for seniors, that will help them manage their data. If you're a biologist,